Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Our kiddos are on the mend a bit from being sick. We haven't done much. We had this whole weekend we're gonna do stuff, and it's been kind of a little bit boring around the house. Yeah.
They have been lounging on the couch, coughing and fevering and just all the stuff you do when you're sick.
Right.
And since Friday. It's gone on for so long.
I mean, most parents will understand this. I hate when the kids are sick.
Of course.
But it's you know what? I woke up this morning and came downstairs. It was a little louder out there. And I was like, oh, okay. Because usually the volume of the house is depending upon how, when it was silent in the house, I'm like, oh, none of the kids feel good. So
yes, exactly. So they are feeling better, just not 100% yet. So hopefully, tomorrow, the next day, will be fully 100%. But we'll see. Everybody's sick now. So.
I offered the Jared protocol, and our children were not interested in that.
Which was?
Yeah, it's the high dose of vitamins and things.
Oh, I mean, you still give them vitamins.
I do. I know. I'm not going to give them the Jared protocol.
No.
I'll experiment on myself more than my children. But
yes.
But yeah. So, I haven't done much, but I will say in our house, our back patio, when it's, midday, the sun's just bang, just beams on that thing. Mm-hmm. And so I finally got a little it's just a little one of those cheap kind of gazebo things because our neighbors had one, and I was like, that's actually kind of a good setup. So Jamie and I put it together yesterday. There might have been some words I said during the construction of that thing because the instructions were about as useful as they just might as well have written them in Chinese because it was basically useless. But
let's just say with Jared's brawn and my detail orientedness, we were able to figure it out.
We did figure it out.
Together we did it.
But now we actually have an area where there's some shade and can actually use the patio a bit. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually
never done it before. We never used our backyard that much.
Partially because it's just it's just small. Hot. But so I'm actually looking forward to that. Maybe lounging in a back patio.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with us at least. Mm-hmm. But there's been a lot of news around Disney. Of course, we had Josh D'Amaro as named the new CEO, but there have been some things going on quite a bit that we're going to talk about today, including some construction updates about how the construction is looking around property. And Disney is cracking down. They're cracking the whip on some of these third-party vendors. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about, there's a rumor that I happen to have a little bit of inside information on about potentially Villains Land's initial plans, concepts, whatever you want to call it, have been scrapped to go bigger and bolder. Apparently, this is a rumor out there. We're going to talk about that and if that has any validity to it and what that could mean for Villains Land going forward. And then we're going to give a little bit of a review from our meetup weekend when we were there talking about some of the lounges we went to. Jamie calls this lounge hopping at Disney World.
Lounge hopping. We hopped the lounges.
Is that a term? Maybe it's a new term now.
It's new. We're starting it. Or lounge crawl.
Lounge crawl. I should trademark these things, perhaps.
Either one. Lounge crawl or lounge hopping.
I like either one. I like either one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today on the episode. Okay. But before we get to the news, just remind everybody, if you are watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't know we had video versions of the show, you can go over to YouTube at CTM Podcast. You can check them out over there as well as show clips. And of course, if you're listening on good old trusty audio podcast form, we're on all the major platforms there. We ask you to just please subscribe and leave us a review if you're able to do so on your platform. We'd greatly appreciate that. Helps us continue to grow the show and all that good stuff. So, all right, well, let's talk about the news. So the first story we have is, the construction going on at Disney World. There's a lot of it. Now, we have a list here that does not include short refurbs, which there's also quite a few of those going on as well.
This is basically just construction. Magic Kingdom alone is a lot. So they're painting the castle. They're redoing Buzz Lightyear. The whole front area is just torn up. Big Thunder update, it's coming. It's supposed to open here shortly, so that's almost done. You got Piston Peak, Cars Land. That's all demolished. You got Haunted Mansion. There's a big scrim in front of it, and then Villains Land. Can't really see it, but it's back there. They're moving dirt, as they like to say. So a lot of going on in Magic Kingdom alone. Epcot, the only thing that's going on in Epcot is the playground. I'll call it the World Discovery Playground, the one that's right outside of Creations. Mm-hmm. They're making it a little bit bigger. And they're kind of redoing like the flooring and stuff like that.
Maybe here's an idea. More places for parents to sit.
I think that's in the plan.
I would hope so, because that place, our kids have always loved that place.
Yeah.
But there's, even at the size it's at, there's literally nowhere to sit as a parent.
So if if you're listening, you're familiar with this playground. When you walk in, you kind of have to go to the right. It's a little path, and then all the playground equipment is there. And then if you keep going, there's kind of like a little sitting area. There's a couple benches and everything. That area has been extended back.
Okay.
So they are making more room, hopefully for more seating. As parents, we need chairs. We need seating.
That would be a nice touch. I would like that, yeah. In the shade as well, but even if not, I would appreciate some seating.
So they did add some shade to the structures too. So again, they're thinking about all of this. And then Hollywood Studios, you've got Metropolis. That's going on. That's the Grand Park area, the old Muppet area. And then Animation Courtyard, the new Walt Disney Studios area. That's going on too. Soon we'll have a Rock and Roller Coaster down for a little bit. Like, just a lot going on over there. And then Animal Kingdom, Rafiki's Planet Watch. That's closed now until the summer. Dino Land is completely torn apart. We talked about that ad nauseum. Mm-hmm. And then there are pictures of all of this construction. I think BioReconstruct has taken a picture of everything of this. So you can always follow him on X if you want to.
Yeah, and I'm going to do a construction update on the Captain Magic YouTube channel. I'll have a Universal one and a Disney one coming up toward the end of this week. So I'll be doing that as well, because there's a lot. So I've been trying to dig through all those pictures, and those take a little time to put together.
Yeah. And the big resort-wise, there's Lakeshore Lodge. That's still coming along. Supposed to open next year. Animal Kingdom Lodge rooms are being refurbed. Boardwalk is getting some refurb. And then Bay Lake Tower rooms are also getting some refurb. So that's not a completely 100% list, because there's little things here and there. But that's pretty much, I guess you could include Polynesian too. That's all torn up over there.
Yeah, they're getting close on the new entrance to the Polynesian. Mm-hmm. And they've got that roundabout that they're almost on the extension of the Floridian Way over there as well. Yeah. So, I mean, anytime you talk about Disney construction, one of the major things that's going to come up is the speed. Mm-hmm. How quickly are these things going to get built? From what you can tell, I mean, I have my opinion. We'll talk about this. What do you think about the current construction pace?
So I believe, based on like what they announce and when it actually opens, is that what you're kind of meaning?
Based on, historically, it typically takes 4 to 5 years for most things, if not longer.
Well, it depends on what it is, but I wish they would move quicker. I know they could move quicker. It all it takes is more money and more people, but they go at the pace that they go. So, stuff like Big Thunder. It says it's supposed to be closed for a year, and it's going to end up being a year and a half. I don't really know I don't know Cars Land. I mean, they're working on it, but we don't really know the timetable of it yet.
They haven't said specifically the timetable of that one.
Yeah, we don't. What did they say about Monsters Inc. Land?
I don't know if they've officially said. I think I've heard 27, 28, but if it's... I'm going to say always lean longer on Disney construction. So if it is 28, I'm going to say it's going to be toward the end of 2028.
Same thing with Dino Land and the new Encanto section and the Indiana Jones overlay of Dinosaur. Like, I think all of that's supposed to be done in 27 as well. I feel like that's not pushing it, but like Disney timeline, that's pushing it.
Well, they do seem to be, I mean, lately the progress in Tropical Americas does seem to be picking up pace.
That's great.
And my wonder about all of this has been, do they actually speed up their construction timelines given, and that we're going to talk about this directly, as I think this is one of the reasons this is probably happening, is the pressure from Universal. And also during this time, I mean, we've talked about before, you've got 3 parks under construction. This is going to hamper attendance on some level, partially because people don't want to deal with attendance, and also people are just going to say, well, if we're going to spend all this money to go, how expensive it is. We'll just wait till this stuff's done. So they have a lot of motivation to get these things done quickly. And I think
so.
Well, and what's interesting is all of basically how long it takes Disney to build for the most part has been under Bob Iger.
Well, yeah, that's our time.
And I'm wondering if Josh is going to change anything. And maybe, again, coming from the parks background, he could speed these things up. That would be very interesting if that were to happen. So I think that's the wild card in this is, do they feel the pressure, and will Josh do anything different in terms of how quickly they build?
He officially comes into play like next month. So, I mean, I guess he's already doing things behind the scenes, though.
He is. This has been. I was speculating this for a bit, but I've actually got a little confirmation that is actually what's happening, which leads into our next story. And I think this goes into a new CEO coming to the picture. Is that it's been reported that Villains Land original plans have gone through significant changes, or you could say they've been scrapped. And Imagineers have been told to think bigger and bolder and not worry about budget. Okay.
Now, this. Okay. This was all over social media and all the new stuff because of Lynn Testa from Touring Plans. But you have another source.
Right. So this kicked off. We'll read what Lynn Testa said. If you don't know who Lynn Testa is, he runs Touring Plans. He's not the type of person that makes stuff up. He's a pretty good source. Right. Granted, when there's rumors, things can change.
Sure.
But he's not known to go making things up per se.
Right.
But he had posted in the WDW Magic forums saying, quote, "I'm hearing the initial plans for Villains Land have been scrapped. Imagineers have been told to think of bigger, bolder ideas. Budget secondary." So it's not sure if this is new players, new game, RE Josh as CEO. So obviously that got a lot of people talking. Now, Villains Land, I've said for a long time, is the land. I mean, this thing I've always said is not going to be done until sometime well into the 2030s. And they're not, if this is already a discussion that's happening, they don't have any real concrete plans here, which I don't think has been the case, because the last update we had about this, they basically went on a field trip to talk about the design inspiration of the land. So I never have felt they have everything like nailed down to a T what they're going to do here. There were some permits that show some of the ride buildings, potential ride in shops. Like, I think they may have the rides they're going to use, because those really don't change very much. Like, you probably have agreements with ride manufacturers potentially and things like that. But hearing that, I reached out. I know a few people here and there. I know somebody that's, let's just say, around this sort of thing inside the Disney company. And I basically asked, I said, is there truth to this? And I was told, yes, Josh is going all in. And then I asked about the budget. Has the budget been increased? It wasn't complete confirmation, but essentially was told kind of not huge, but think stretched out more. And I said, does that mean like a maybe bigger budget stretch over a longer period of time? And basically that was kind of what he said there. Now, that's just a person that I know. I reached out to somebody else. I haven't heard anything back yet. And I've heard other people say similar things, that they're hearing the same things. So I think there is credence to this. Again, I believe the person that told me these things. I mean, they've never lied to me before. So if that is what's happening here, I think it's interesting, because you have Josh coming in with the parks background. Understand, if anybody in the company is going to understand what Disney's currently up against with Universal, it's going to be Josh tomorrow. And the knowing, like I've said for a long time, Villains Land is the biggest potential difference maker, and all the things they're building that could potentially bring in a lot of crowds. And you have to, like, if you're going to get any of these projects right, you got to get Villains Land right. So that is encouraging, I think, if you're wanting Villains Land to be great, that they're actually thinking bigger and bolder.
Yeah.
But then it makes you wonder, like, well, what were the original plans here? Like, were they limited by a budget, and now all of a sudden they're not limited by a budget? That's interesting.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And if that's true, then as you were talking about timeline, if they're going bigger, bolder, and you need more time to get all this done, when does this officially open? Are we talking 2030, 2031?
Well, I've said before, I think you're talking 2031, 2032. With this, like, if this is actually happening, more than likely this means Villains Land gets delayed. But
unless this is already in play before he came out, before he got into position.
It doesn't.
It could have.
It doesn't seem, from what I'm hearing, that that's the case.
Okay.
This seems like a very fresh thing that has basically happened the last couple of weeks.
Got it. Okay.
But if you're thinking here, okay, if something is delayed a bit, but it's better and you get it right, I think that's a pretty good compromise. Now, it's not going to go well for Disney's construction reputation.
Yeah.
But if they do take the time, they do this right, it's going to be something that can set Disney up to really benefit from this for years and years to come.
The only thing I'll say about Villains Land specifically is that nothing was taken away. You know what I mean? We're just adding to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's like, okay, well, we're not like missing anything from this land. It's not like they bulldoze an entire land to make a new one. They're just adding to it. So if it does take longer, it's not like we're missing anything we didn't have before. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, other than anticipation.
Sure, but I'm just meant like guest, satisfaction within the parks on a day-to-day basis. That's what I mean.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. And I've said the whole time, I think Villains Land has a lot of potential to be really impactful for Disney. Mm-hmm. It also has the potential to be a letdown because now obviously this is going to be compared to Dark Universe.
Probably.
At Epic Universe. I mean,
they're going to be so different though.
They're going to be very different, but obviously similar concepts. Dark, like it's not your happy
But it's Disney dark.
Correct. That's what that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're going to have to thread the needle on this to where it's not too scary for kids and families, but it's quote unquote scary enough for, say, the adults that want to experience this. That's not a necessarily super easy thing to do. They don't have the benefit like Universal does where they can go. They've even said Dark Universe is like a PG-13 land.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean kids can't go in there. We've taken our kids in there. It's not like crazy scary or anything, but Universal has more freedom on these things than Disney does, given their audience and their reputation.
Right.
So I've always felt that's going to be a tougher thing to nail down for them versus, say, Dark Universe. But potentially, though, it could be really big.
I do like the whole concept of having Fantasyland like right there, and then Villains Land like
and I do hope they tie.
Cool.
And I hope they tie those things together.
Missed opportunity if they don't. But like so much potential. And like honestly, like it's really exciting to think of like what this could be, because like even in what Len Testa was saying, also he said like the roller coaster is still in the mix, but it's going to be plussed, as he said. The indoor ride is going to be more like Rise of the Resistance. Was thinking more like Runaway Railway, so that's going to be different. Dining and entertainment, thinking bigger again. Everything's bigger. So that excites me.
Well, and that's the thing. If you open up this land with 2, maybe even 3 attractions, and they're both, like, say you go 2 attractions, they're both really high end, that is going to be something different than most of the time what they do. Because typically you have, like, say, Flight of Passage, and then you have Navi River.
Yeah.
And there's like one's really, really good, one's like, eh. And if they open with 2 really big ones and they really go all out, I mean, I'll say it again and again. They would only be doing this because of the pressure they are feeling, which I think is good. This is why I love competition.
Yeah.
I love it because this is what's going to make you do better things because somebody is competing with you. I don't know. If you're talking about Josh coming in and he's going to make a big splash, I've said for the whole time he's probably going to do some things early on with the parks because that's what he knows. And those other things are some easy wins for him. Mm-hmm. If he does basically do this for the Disney park fan base and the guests, that's going to be the quickest way he's going to win over people. And that it makes sense why that would be kind of his trademark thing coming in if he's going to really focus on the parks. And really, like, this is the first time. And I know Chapek was a parks guy, but I don't think people really looked at him as, like, a great parks guy. You've got a CEO coming in that has a really big parks focus, and you could definitely see there being a lot of focus on all the theme parks initially coming in.
Again, the potential is there for sure. But I would like to, if Josh, if you're listening, if you could just listen for a second, I would like to hear music from the movies, please, in the land. I don't want a new soundtrack. I want Be Prepared from Lion King. I want what's the one in Little Mermaid from Ursula? I can't remember any of the names right now. But anyway, I want the villain songs from the movies. I want to hear them. And I also I don't want to feel like a Batu situation.
100%.
Like, I would like that not to happen. Now, again, obviously, maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't know. But I would like to feel like this land has existed within what we already know and not some beyond, time period.
Well, apparently they said that the overall theme of the land hasn't changed, where there's been a curse that has been put on that's brought out all the villains.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So really keeping it simple is going to be your best bet. And again, you don't want to run into, a Galaxy's Edge issue where 10 years down the road, you're like, oh, let's make some changes here because we didn't get this right the first time, which I think clearly is what's going on there. Because I've been talking about that for years, how much Galaxy's Edge is not a great Star Wars land. And it looks like they're starting to kind of rectify some of those issues.
Yeah.
So if they keep it simple, you just give people villains in a villain land, you got Maleficent's castle and all these things like that. I think that you don't have to go crazy with this in terms of like a convoluted story, but you deliver on the ride, you deliver on the details. And that's what I think really comes down to this is the details is what makes any of these lands that are, whether it's Universal or Disney, successful, is that. I mean, the Wizarding Worlds are chock full of details. If you're a fan of those books and movies, you can sit there for hours and find little Easter eggs all over the place. And it's stuff like that I think lends to people really enjoying it and then wanting to come back. And it also shows the care you put into it. So, like I said, I don't really know how Josh will do. I've said the whole time, I think he has a lot of potential. He has the look for it. He seems to be passionate about the parks. So all this, we're starting to see some things kind of creep in here. And I kind of said even before he was named CEO, some of these things that were going on, I think may have been Josh moves before he was actually named the next CEO. And the whole plan is here, once he comes in on March 18th, he hits the ground running and he really starts doing some of the things that the fans have been asking for. He will win over a lot of people. Plus, the parks are the biggest moneymaker for the entire company. So it's going to make sense to double down into the parks. And also with all the competition, they've never had this much competition on the theme park side. Mm-hmm. So now with all that competition and pressure, you really have to deliver. And I think he probably understands this because you wouldn't be making these moves unless you felt like whatever was brought forward was not great and being like, we cannot afford these lands to be duds. Mm-hmm. And that's always that's always what people worry about. Budgets, especially Villains Land is one that people have worried about because it's so far in the future. You can easily see budget cuts there. And there's been lands that Disney has built before where budget cuts have definitely hampered it.
Yeah.
So if this is the new MO where they're saying, we're going to increase budgets, we're going to do the things that we used to do really well, that our competitors are doing very well. I think that could be a good thing. I
agree. We shall see, as we like to say.
We'll see. And if I get any more information on that, I'll talk about it. But
okay.
So, all right. Well, the next story we have is Disney's Starlight Parade is making a big change at Magic Kingdom.
So starting last Thursday, the 12th, if there was a second parade scheduled for the day, then it will run in the opposite direction of the first run. So traditionally, they have always started the Starlight Parade in Main Street, like in Town Square. And then it went backwards, basically, through Main Street, around the hub, through Frontierland, and then out like there. So if there's a second performance, and this one's after the fireworks, then it will start in Frontierland and end in Town Square. And I'm guessing it's because of crowd control. Yeah. Because of the fireworks. That's the only thing I can think of. Or they just don't want to, go all the way around. I don't know. I don't know the thinking by it, but it might affect where you stand. If you're watching the second parade versus the first parade, you're going to see a different view if you're on one side of the street or the other. So just something to keep in mind if you're there when there are two performances. And there's not every day, but if it's open late, there will be.
Okay. That's another thing I think they should do is add more to this parade.
That would be great.
I've heard great. There were rumblings. I think it was a couple weeks ago that Damaro and Jeff Vail were spotted watching the parade and looked like they were kind of taking notes.
Good. Good.
So, I mean,
that's great.
Well, and that's the thing that a lot of
great.
people talked about with this is like, it's great that there's a nighttime parade, but it does seem kind of sparse in many areas compared to what they've done before.
Exactly. So anyway, that is the big thing with that right now.
Okay. When we have any firsthand knowledge of that, we'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll check it out sometime soon.
Okay.
So. All right. The next story we have is there is a new permanent Norway Pavilion kiosk that has opened in Epcot.
Yes. So this is where the beer cart used to be, like right on the path.
Where'd they put the beer?
Well, they put it in here. You can get the beer here now. So this is what's on the menu. You can get good old school bread. You can still get it in the bakery inside the pavilion, but you can get it out here too. They have like Mickey bars, ice cream, sandwiches, fruit bars, soda, water, and they have something called Troll Creme, which is a frozen blend of cranberry and vanilla. Comes alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and then they have a bunch of ales and pilsners as well.
Okay.
But the actual kiosk is very cute looking. It looks like a cabin. Kind of.
That makes sense for Norway.
It does. So I know some people will be happy about that because that area has been under construction for a bit with this kiosk, and so now you can get your beer in Norway again.
They need to put that Viking coffee in here.
You can still get it in the bakery.
I know, but they should put it out here.
I know, but I think this one's very like easy. Like it's just like a grab and go kind of place. Like I think with the coffee you have to make.
Listen, I don't want excuses.
I know.
I want results.
I'm just giving you reasons, sir.
I'm gonna be like Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I don't know if you ever read about Steve Jobs. Apparently, like he would want something, and they'd be like, "Sir, we can't do that." He'd be like, "I don't care. Do it, or you're fired." Like, okay.
That's kind of how Walt Disney was a little bit.
I'm telling you right now, you don't build great things unless you have the person leading you that's kind of a jerk sometimes.
I mean,
Michael Jordan.
Jerks get stuff done.
Jerks get stuff done, man. I'm telling you, Michael Jordan was not necessarily liked by his teammates. Same thing with, there's been stories about Walt. Eisner. By the way, that Michael Eisner interview, did you watch that?
I did not, but I heard what he kind of said about.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And he's very sharp. He's almost 90 and he's still.
He's 90?
Well, he's like 80 something. I mean, I'm saying he's
moly.
he's getting up there in years, but he still seems sharp as ever.
Yeah.
And I loved listening to him talk. I love Eisner. He had some really good insight on things, but
he was also seen as kind of a jerk.
Well, that's the thing. Like, people think that like you have to be this happy-go-lucky, like, oh, nobody get mad at me, and sometimes that's not what is required.
It's true. That's true.
This is why Iger. I've never been a huge fan of Iger, but I think definitely he never wanted to be viewed as a bad guy.
Right.
Which is why I think Chapek came in to do some things that he didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And then coming after the fact. Now Josh though does not strike me as somebody who has that sort of like side to him, but again, who knows? Maybe he does, but at least publicly, he doesn't put off that image. But nor did like Walt and a lot of these other guys. I mean, nobody really knew Steve Jobs was the way he was until people kind of started talking about it.
Yeah.
But listen, bring jerks back.
Okay.
Put jerks in charge.
Okay.
I'm telling you, would get a lot of stuff done.
All right.
You don't have to like the person in charge.
As long as they're following the rules, sure.
Listen, sometimes you got to push people, and people don't like to be pushed.
Okay. All right, Jared.
I'm just saying.
Says Jared Lee.
All right, let's move on to our last story here, which is Disney is cracking down on unauthorized third-party guest services at the resorts and parks, which they have done at moments in the past as well. But this one definitely seems they're going pretty heavy-handed on this.
Yes. So, okay, this is nothing new, by the way. Disney has always prohibited unauthorized commercial activity, as this is, for safety and liability reasons. This has always been their thing. They just didn't enforce it like they are starting to do now. So like for the past several weeks, I would say starting back in like January sometime, some of these small business owners that like you would find on Ears for Each Other Facebook group, which is now called Concierge 1901. Okay. They have received cease and desist letters from Disney. And this is anything from like private chefs to hair and makeup services, photography services, room decorating services, even like special like food deliveries, like charcuterie boards, stuff like that. They're all being affected by this. And the thing is, this really became popular during COVID because a lot of these are former cast members that were furloughed and were trying just to make some money. And now we've gotten to the point where this is such a big, I'll say, industry of just third-party services coming into the Disney property to give services or goods services to the guests. And Disney's like, no, not anymore.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of these, I get it whenever, like Disney did this with the ECV stuff and the strollers. They kind of would
Scooter bug.
right?
Now.
They would pick a preferred provider that they got to do certain things that other ones did not. They had to operate differently. But a lot of this stuff is not services Disney offers. Like Disney doesn't offer in-room decorating or like.
Yeah, they do. They have a Disney gifts section. They can put stuff up in your room. Like not the extent that some of these companies can.
Right.
But they do offer similar services.
Okay.
All of this stuff that I just said, Disney provides.
Private chefs they provide?
They could do private dining. You can do private dining at some of the resorts.
Okay.
Hair and makeup services, like this, I'm talking about like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and stuff.
Right.
Photography sessions, they have their own. You can hire.
I understand the photography stuff.
But so yeah, a lot of similar services to what is offered. Now, not everything Disney will do, but I understand why. First of all, it's their business. It's their property. They can say, get off. You can't do it.
They can.
They can absolutely do it. Is it unfortunate for a lot of those that were making money based on this thing? Sure. But it's also just like, well, they already had this rule. They just weren't like enforcing it that much.
Well, and it comes into, this, again, take it or leave it, but from a business advice perspective, building an entire business on the back of another business is always risky. I guess I would say it's kind of the definition of like you're leeching or piggybacking off of an existing audience and business to provide your services, wares, whatever it is. And a lot of times, if that's your sole basis of income, you're setting yourself up for potentially, at any moment, especially this can happen in any industry. It'd be like saying you provide hair and makeup services in a Walmart parking lot, which I don't think your clientele would be great there, but let's say you did that.
Right.
And you're making pretty good money, and then Walmart says, hey, you can't do that anymore here. Like, you're always going to be at risk of this. So it's like, if it's a side gig, it's like, okay, you're taking advantage of an opportunity you had, but just know at any moment, and very likely with Disney, eventually they will shut it down.
Yeah.
Because they don't want a whole bunch of third parties kind of loitering, I suppose, on their property.
Yep.
And they probably feel like it undercuts them. So, I feel for the people that are doing it, but at the same time, I'm not surprised, and B, I'm kind of surprised Disney allowed them to operate as long as they did.
Yeah. Stuff like the photography thing, I know there's a lot of Orlando photographers that would often take pictures.
Well, and I get it too, because the Disney photographers are not like great. So if you really want,
depends on who you get.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying they're all terrible, but for the most part, you can get really, really good pictures if you have your own photographer. But yeah, it just gets into, you can be upset about it, but it is kind of what it is. Like other businesses do this as well.
Yeah, so it's just good not to risk it because they got lots of lawyers. Their legal team is giant.
They do have a lot of lawyers. Well, and it sucks for the guests part of it because a lot of times they're doing the hair and makeup because it's cheaper than going to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
And also it could be a more personalized experience versus at Disney too. So it's like, I get being upset by this for sure. But I also see it as like this is Disney exercising the right to do it. So. But
if you're one of these businesses, you want to stay in business, this is where you just have to adapt. You can do this stuff off property. You could offer it to people that are staying off Disney property, or if they want to come do it. Like, there's adaptable things you can do here if you want to continue to work. But just any time that your whole business is based off of everybody I service is going on a Disney vacation and you're reliant on going on Disney property, that's more than likely always going to be a very short-term window that you can operate from.
Right. And this is mostly, like you said, like it's all these services, but mostly the ones where people would drop things off.
Right.
Like food or items or whatever. Does this? I didn't look at this very closely, but like, this doesn't mean like Instacart, does it?
I would imagine not.
That's groceries,
right?
So I don't. Think
which
that's
gets
the
into
same
very
thing.
like, yeah. I
Because
don't.
Disney doesn't offer grocery service, so I
Right.
think that would be okay.
But I mean,
I don't know.
they could outlaw that.
I guess
They could, but I don't think that people
They'll
would just
charge
be,
you more.
Well, I don't think people would be going to buy all their groceries for a week's long trip on Disney stuff because it'd be expensive. So people more than likely would take Ubers and stuff to go get groceries. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where they're going to pick and choose on this stuff sometimes. And they may have let this go on as long as they did because a lot of these were furloughed cast members off of COVID and things like that. So maybe they felt it's been 6 years. We're going to put the clamp down on this. Or maybe this was a Josh thing too. You never know.
I've heard about these letters going out to people for the last couple of years, but it's just recently I've heard this just like surge of people getting these letters. So
well, and the way it goes with Disney on almost anything, once you find a loophole, whether that's with things inside the parks or stuff like this, there will be a period of time where Disney will let it go because it's like it's not enough people to do it to really like mess with it.
Yeah.
But once you start seeing a lot of people start doing it, that's when they come in and they basically shut it down. So more than likely, you're seeing a lot more of these businesses pop up, which is what I've talked about before about people getting upset about the people going into the Disney outlets and doing those like live auctions. I do think at some point, that one's interesting because I think Disney at some point will do something about that. But at the same time, they're buying stuff that Disney's just trying to get rid of. So in a way, like you're paying for things from Disney. So it's different. Like, and I've always wondered if they maybe introduce a program where it's like you pay Disney to be able to provide certain, so like they can actually have a vetting service, if you will.
I forgot about this. So we went to the outlets a couple weeks ago before we went home, and they had
I wiped that from my mind. That was a terrible experience.
There was a sign outside where everyone's lined up to get into the store that said starting, I want to say it was February 12th, something like that, sometime this month, that all sales are final.
Yeah,
they won't take any returns.
Well, because some people
whatsoever.
So you have two groups that do this stuff. You have people that go buy it and then they post it online to sell it. And a lot of these people that stuff wasn't selling, they would try and return it.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
And then you have people that are doing these live auctions to where they're basically just hoarding up or just items in the store.
Right.
And waiting for people on these platforms to like bid on it. So I don't think they completely shut that down because, again, it's like this is a bunch of stuff that Disney's trying to get rid of. But this is what I'm saying. It's like any time that you're setting up a business inside of where Disney operates or any big business operates, you're always going to run the risk of them eventually making rule changes and shutting you down.
Yeah, pretty much. February 1st, by the way, is the date. And it also includes Cast Connection.
Okay.
So even for the cast members.
Which I'm sure there were cast members selling stuff too.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. So they're just really cracking down on all that stuff, which, whatever. It's their prerogative.
I mean, it's the risk you're going to run doing stuff like that.
That's right.
And like, again, I feel for the people that have set up legitimate businesses and they're making money. But like I said, if it's a side gig, extra income, that's what I would look at it as. I would never try and rely on this as like a main source of income.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Well, we'll see what happens with that, but I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So, all right, well, that's all we got for the news. Let's move on to talk about our lounge hopping at Walt Disney World, or lounge. What was the other one you used? Lounge crawling, yeah. So we hit up a few lounges. We were there on our meetup weekend. So we're going to go through all the ones we hit up. So we got Territory Lounge, Geyser Point, GO82, Yeehaw Bob.
At River Roost,
and Nomad Lounge. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So the first one we're going to talk about is Territory Lounge.
Territory Lounge is essentially it's the lobby bar at Wilderness Lodge, directly next to Artist Point. They're open from 4 to 10 every single day, and it's got kind of like a rustic lodge theme, surprisingly, at Wilderness Lodge.
Shocking.
Everything is kind of dark wood, log cabin feel, and then like they have these shadow boxes. It's almost like Adventurers Club. It kind of felt like that.
A little bit.
So we only got drinks here, and I went with one that she called it fall-like. It was almost like a fall flavor kind of thing, but I was like, I'm going to try it anyway. So I got the orange spice sangria. It's $18.50. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's, is it Cointreau? I don't know how to say it.
I'm not sure.
Liqueur, apple cider, and house-made spiced orange syrup. And I loved this. And I actually figured out that I really enjoy sangria. I really do.
Well, there you go.
It's become a drink that I really enjoy. What did you have, Jared?
I went with, they had a Moosehead Lager.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually really good. It's like a Canadian beer. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty solid one. I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, we just hung out here for a little bit. We were actually waiting to get into Geyser Point. And we just went in here and hung out. And it's a cool little area. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not usually that busy. And it's a nice little area to just kind of relax. And
they have some food items. They've got some flatbreads. They've got a popcorn sampler, charcuterie board, a spicy mac and cheese, but it's plant-based. So the cheese. It's also not sausage. Interesting. Anyway, we have that, and then some dips and stuff. But anyway, so we were there for a little bit until we went over to Geyser.
yes, I went back over there with shout out from Pam from
did.
Club
You did
32.
go back
Well, she
over
went
there.
back over there, so I had another Moosehead Lager
That's
at some
right,
point.
you did.
I only had like 3 beers all weekend. There's more I drank in like a year. So, but I did enjoy that beer. It was really good. So we went here for a little bit, and then we went to Geyser Point, which we've been to before. Love Geyser Point. If you don't know what this is, it's the outdoor quick service lounge area at Wilderness Lodge. It serves at the pool bar as well. So
Yeah, it's like a pool bar too. It's like multi-purpose, if you will.
Yeah.
Sits right by the water, so you get those gorgeous lake views. Again, rustic theming, a little bit of a modern twist, I guess. I think they have some moose heads in there. I didn't look carefully, but I feel like there was. Like at the entrance, is there a moose head that's like
I
right
thought
there?
you meant that beer. Yeah. They do have like a moose head.
No, not the beer. Sorry. I was just in my brain, I guess. But it's open from 11 to 11, so it's open a little bit later. You can do to-go orders here, which I know a lot of people take advantage of, which is really, it's excellent food and drinks. So let's talk about what we had, because I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a few, maybe a year or so, a year or two, maybe since we've been here. But I got the bison cheeseburger, which has gone up in price. It's at $26 now. And then also got the...
Well, what's that? It's bacon, sweet crispy onion straws, Marionberry sauce, and garlic aioli, $26.
Yes. Well, let's talk about that real quick. It's really, really good.
Really good.
It is one of the best burgers on
Really
property.
good.
Very tender and juicy and flavorful.
If you want to get me a sauce, give me a garlic aioli. All right?
I mean, it's just a fancy way to say garlic mayonnaise.
Give me garlic mayonnaise.
It is really good, though.
But aioli sounds pretty.
And it is really good if you dip fries into it.
Yes, it is.
Listen, people can criticize me all you want.
Yes, it is.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And what else do we have?
We got a flatbread. It was the...
Charcuterie flatbread.
Was it the charcuterie flatbread?
Yes. It's the salami, brisket, chorizo,
Yes.
bacon, smoked Gouda beer cheese for $19. This was so good.
It was really, really good.
And a lot more meat than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
I anticipated it being bare, but it was legit.
Yeah, it was solid. I would definitely get it again.
Yes. And did you get a drink here?
I did, but I don't remember what it was. Hold on. I'll look through the drinks real quick.
Well, I'll talk about mine. I got the Huckleberry Punch, and this was 44-degree North Mountain Huckleberry Vodka, Bowls Creme de Cassis, I think is how you say it, lemon juice, and cranberry juice, and that was $17.50. And I really enjoyed this drink.
Yeah, you liked it.
I really did. And I always ask the servers, like, what's a good drink for someone that likes it sweet? And he said that Banana Cabana is sweet, but I've already had that before. He talked about like a margarita. And then I asked him about Huckleberry Punch. He says that one is sweet, but it's not, it's like middle of the road. And I was like, I'll go ahead and try it. And I'm really glad I did, because I like that Huckleberry vodka. It was very good.
I had a little bit of it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I ended up getting the Funky Buddha Florida Hefeweizen. It was fine. It was good. It was solid.
Funky Buddha Floridian Hefeweizen.
I like Hefeweizen, so I'm always tempted to get those. But yeah, it was very solid. It was a very good meal. It was. It wasn't yet. This was the weekend was like got super cold on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
This is before it started getting cold, so it was nice to like. Good. And like they do have heaters here, so if it is cold or something, you can sit there. But I like how the open concept, you can like look out on the water, you can see the fireworks. Like it just has a really good vibe in here.
Yeah, and there were what, I don't know, 12, 13 of us.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Sharing a table. So it was a good time. We had a great time, and definitely one of those that's like I'm always gonna be like, hey, where do you want to go? And Geyser's always kind of like, oh, we could always go to Geyser.
Yeah,
always.
I've never really had a bad experience at Geyser. So
Same.
It is at a great resort at Wilderness Lodge, and it's a great thing. So yeah, it's one I would say it's worth going out of your way to try.
I agree. Like take a boat from Magic Kingdom and go try this.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's very solid. So all right, well the next lounge that we went to was GO82, which Jamie had been here before. I had not. This was on the day it was very cold at Epcot.
Yes.
So getting inside was very nice.
Yes. I went here, I believe it was opening day or the day after.
You did go opening day.
Okay, yes, with my mom. And so this is my second time. But this is the adult-only lounge in Epcot. This is Spaceship Earth themed, obviously. It's right behind it. Lots of gold, silvers, darker like gray colors, lots of shapes. And this is a reservations are required to get into here. It's still pretty hard to get a reservation too. Like you have to make them 60 days in advance for sure, but like at the end of your trip of the 60 days beforehand, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's not a very big space either.
It's pretty small.
And there's really no time limit either.
Right. This is open from 11 to 9 usually, or like when the park closes. But they do offer the fireworks experience. And I believe people can start getting there at 7:30 for like a 9 o'clock fireworks. So you won't be able to be seated after that for regular reservations. So that limits it even more.
Right.
So that's
going to cost you like what, $120 a person?
$179.
$179, yeah.
Yes, we've had this discussion about the price before.
Listen, I blocked it out of my mind because I'm never going to pay it. So,
so I tried I had tried the non-alcoholic drink. Let me pull it up here. I got Manhattan in the morning last time. That's $17, and this time I tried a walk through the garden. And this is a Seedlip Garden 108 non-alcoholic spirit, basil, fennel, lemon, Hella Cocktail Company, orange bitters, the Bitter Truth celery bitters, and bubbles for $17. And I did not care for this at all.
Having non-alcoholic drinks at $17 is pretty aggressive.
Listen, whatever they charge, it's just, first of all, they don't give you that much. It's pretty small. It's a pretty small pour. But I did not like this. Manhattan in the morning was better. I like that. I like that a lot. But you didn't get anything here, did you?
I did not.
I
did not.
The vibes of this place obviously are adult oriented, but for whatever reason, it's not something I'm like, dang, I want to go to GO82.
It is not my vibe.
Like, it's not my vibe at all.
And by the way, the drink you had, I did not care for.
No, it was bad.
It was very bitter and just...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's one thing where it's, like, tangy and have a sour, but this was just bitter. Kind of remind me of gin, and I hate gin.
Yeah.
The finish on it. But, yeah, I mean, it's nice in here. It's just, I'm not really that interested in... Like, the views are okay. They're fine. But I'm not really interested in a place where, I mean, everything in here is very high priced. And I don't really think it's... I understand the vibe they're going for of this like really upscale thing. But considering at Epcot, there's no shortage of places you can get drinks in small bites.
That's the thing. It's being at Epcot and having World Showcase right there. All that variety of drinks and food. I'm just like, I don't think I would be like, do I want to go to like, I don't know, Germany? And get pretzel bread pudding and, some of that, what's that chocolate shots thing they have? Or do I want to go to GO82 and pay like twice as much for drinks that I'm probably not going to enjoy as much?
Yeah. And like really nothing stuck out to me. I mean, all the drinks, I mean, I would have probably tried an they had this like brown butter old fashioned, but it was like $28.
Yeah.
On principle, I'm not paying $28 for an old fashioned. I'm just not doing it. Plus, I wasn't not in a mood to like. Again, I had like 3 drinks the night before, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's fine. The chairs are comfortable. I will give it that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, I never had a huge desire to go here. After being here, I was like, I mean, if I'm with people and they want to go, sure, but it's not. I'm never going to be like, oh man, let's go to GO82. It's just not a thing that I'm really interested in.
And the next place I go time and again.
Well, yeah, the next one is Yeehaw Bob Jackson at the River Roost, which this is the bar and lounge at Port Orleans Riverside.
Yeah, so the actual lounge opens at 5 p.m., closes at midnight. But Yeehaw Bob, he comes out and he does his little comedy music playing at about 8:30. And does about an hour 15, hour 20, hour 30 at the max, I think. And then takes a little break and then does another set. And then he's done by like 11:45.
I want whatever this guy's taking. He has the most energy I've ever. He's like what? He's got to be in his 70s.
He's like 77?
And he
73, I think.
Never stopped moving.
No.
And was really entertaining. And then I ended up becoming part of the show because we had some of our friends were holding the table. So it was like a table right in front of the stage. And this is not a big area. And as soon as I sat down, I didn't think I sat down. I put my coat on the back of the chair. And he was kind of going around all the tables. He's like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Jared." And he writes it on a piece of paper. And I was like, "Uh-oh."
Dang.
And about halfway through the show, he called me and this other guy to the front. We had to run around the bar.
They were just searching for the goggles or
I think I did
binoculars.
like 10 laps at one point.
There was a nest. Now, boys, now! A nest on the branch, tree on the ground, and the tree on the ground, and the green grass roll around, green grass roll around. Yay! Give it up for the boys.
It was a lot of fun.
That was
funny.
so funny. And so this night, though, it was very, very, very cold. So everybody that was at the resort, not at the parks, were coming here. So like there were people standing all over in this lounge.
Yeah.
Like it was very packed, but it made it more fun, I think. He performs Wednesday through Saturday. And it's an all ages show. It's not like when I say lounge in a bar, yes, it is, but he is very appropriate for all ages.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. So you can definitely bring your kids here. It doesn't get out of control or like too rowdy. It's just fun.
Yeah. He seemed like a really cool guy. We talked to him afterwards. He signed pictures. Like it was very entertaining. Like again, I was tired watching him.
I know. He's been doing it since 1997.
Yeah. And by the way, he is in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, this dude, A, works out, and B, like, I want to be him when I'm in my 70s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really entertaining. I would do it again. It was a lot of fun.
And we didn't get any food or drinks here. We ate before we got there, I think. And we're just like, no, we just want to enjoy the show. And we did indeed.
I was starving. And so we stopped at McDonald's and I got a 20-piece chicken nugget and something else. And I ate every bit of it.
That's right.
And I will say as well, the best McDonald's that I've found, if I've always said McDonald's when it's fresh is still pretty solid in terms of its flavor and stuff.
Yeah.
That McDonald's outside the All-Star Resorts is one of the best McDonald's I've been to.
Do you think so?
It's always hot and fresh. They're always very nice. It's pretty quick, as busy as that place is. So if you're looking for a place that you don't want to like spend again, it's expensive to eat even the quick service stuff at the resorts. If you want to go get some food that's, McDonald's is not as cheap as it used to be. But I think that's a solid McDonald's there.
That's awesome. I mean, it is really good. And they're pretty nice.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was our fourth lounge of the weekend.
Yeehaw Bob. And then we went on that Sunday. We were at Animal Kingdom for the last day dinosaur. We went to Nomad Lounge. This day was freezing.
Freezing.
It was in the 20s, so getting inside was very nice. We rope dropped this.
It opened at 10:30, which, by the way, I didn't know that they had shifted to an earlier opening. I thought it still opened at 11. That's how long it had been since I'd been there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's 10:30? Dang. So we're just like rushing. Or I had Jared, run.
I didn't run.
Okay. Well, I told you
but
to.
my walking is faster than most people's running.
That's fair. So this is next to Tiffin's in Animal Kingdom. So it's like right off of this World Discovery area. And basically, I'm not going to read what Disney puts it at, but it's basically like supposed to be a place where like animal experts and like travelers come to this place, and there's a bunch of banners like all over, and it's themed very well. But it's all about like discovery and traveling.
Yes.
And all that stuff. So that's kind of cool. You cannot make reservations for this. This is a walk-up list only. And most of the time, you can't use the app. The app will always say it's full.
Yeah, you usually have to go in person.
You have to go in person and do
Now,
it.
you can get orders to go here.
Which I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Until one of our friends told us. And I was like, oh, that's very useful information because this place is great.
But I've had a lot of stuff here over the years. It's all been very, very good.
Yeah.
What did you get?
Okay, so food-wise, by the way, we got seated like right away. We didn't have to wait. And we're sitting inside because it was like 28 degrees.
Yeah, they had nobody seating outdoors. Although they have heaters out there, but it was still
so
very,
cold.
very cold.
Yeah. So I got the Cuban Fritta sliders. It comes with shoestring potatoes, spiced ketchup, yuca fries, and sour orange mojo. And that's $16. And then other people at our table got the grilled chicken satay, which is grilled chicken or grilled skewered chicken thighs, curry marinade, cilantro, pickled green papaya, and peanut sauce. Everything looks great there except for the peanut sauce. For me,
right.
For $14. And then we also got the churros, which are $11, and they came with vanilla creme and then I think it was chocolate coffee, or
it was like a chocolate sauce.
mocha sauce or something like that. And those are always delicious. Always delicious. Drink wise, I didn't feel like drinking at 10:30 in the morning, so I got non-alcoholic again. And I decided to get the non-alcoholic version of one of the drinks, and it's a Balinese breeze. $7, and it's a mountain berry tea, simple syrup, and lemon juice. I did not care for this one bit.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
No. I only like chai tea, I found.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I will not be getting that again. But everybody else got a drink or two. Did you get a drink too?
Yeah, well, I was in the mornings. I don't usually eat till about noon anyway, so I just got coffee. Which I thought it might come out like a French press, but it's just one cup, which I don't think she never asked me for a refill, so I'm assuming it was like by the cup. But it was solid. It was a fine cup of coffee. It warmed me up as it was freezing outside, and the churros were very good. I did enjoy the churros quite a bit. If Disney did churros how they do at Nomad Lounge, they'd be fantastic, sold out churros all over the place.
Dang right. And I think these are gluten-free.
I have no idea.
I believe so. I think that's one of the appeals of a lot of people that go
Now
there.
I like them less.
They taste literally the same.
I want all the gluten.
Okay. All right.
Full gluten.
But this is one of our favorite lounges, and it's just kind of hard to get into it sometimes, but it's very good. It's very good. We only did lounges this whole weekend. We did not in McDonald's.
Well,
we did food and wine.
We did food and wine, but also
Festival of the Arts.
Geyser Point. It's not really a lounge. It's kind of a quick service lounge-ish.
Yeah.
So I would say it's more of like a restaurant type, but you can classify it as a lounge kind of. But
yeah, I guess so. I guess that's true.
But no, I love Nomad. Nomad's always solid.
Yeah.
If you can get in there, I've always had a good experience there. Service is always good. It's not like compared to at Disney prices, it's not insane. I would much rather go here than GO82.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. I guess
Every
that makes
time.
sense.
Like, if you were between the two, I would go to Nomad every time.
Nomad is so good.
And I think the atmosphere, I like that. I'm not big on hoity-toity spaces.
Hoity-toity. That doesn't sound like you.
I'm just a dude from the Midwest. So you get me in these really like fancy places, I just feel completely out of my element and uncomfortable. And so I would much rather go to more of a low-key type of place, personally speaking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so that's some of the lounges we went to. Again, I highly recommend Geyser Point. Highly recommend Nomad Lounge. Yeehaw Bob is always a good time. Definitely, recommend those. GO82, I can't personally say. It might be up some people's alley. It's just not up mine. Mm-hmm. Territory Lounge is fine. Like it's a typical kind of just sidebar. It's nothing to like
go out of your way for. But if you're in the lobby, you want a place to kind of lounge and get a drink or get something to eat, definitely serves its purpose there. So
Yeah.
But all right, well, I think that's going to do it for the show.
Okay.
So be sure to check us out on social media at Captain Magic everywhere, including YouTube, where I do daily videos. And I'll be doing some construction updates on Disney construction, Universal construction in the coming days. So be on the lookout for that. And then when you hear this, there will have been a live stream last night that I do with Orange Grove 55, Vash Sky, and Theme Park Philosophies that you can catch over on the YouTube channel. You can see the rewatch there if you'd like. So that'll be a good time there. And then, of course, we have video versions of this show at CTM Podcast on YouTube. And then we have the Universal show every Tuesday where we talk about Universal Studios. And earlier this week, we had it talking about their apparently moving forward with the tunnels that Elon Musk's company is going to build. So very interesting stuff going on with Universal for sure. So you can check that one out. And then, of course, if you like what we do around here, you want to contribute to the show, you want to interact with us a little bit more, you can look at joining Club 32. And that's our private group where we have weekly live streams. We have a private podcast feed. It also has music loops on it and the content on there. Private Facebook group. You get 25% off of CTM Apparel Company products year round. During the live stream, if you want help with trip planning, questions, the Facebook group or the live streams are a great place to do that, or just talk about whatever you want. Interact with us a bit more. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about on there. And then we have meetups. We got another meetup coming up at Universal. Actually, I think our next one is sometime in May that we're going to do. So we have usually 2 a year. So we'll probably start doing one at Universal, one at Disney. And just it's a good time. So if you want to just contribute to the show, interact, meet some other people in there, it's a great place to do that. We greatly appreciate our Club 32 members. Allow us to continue to try some of these foods, let you know if these things are worth your trouble or not. That's one reason why Club 32 lets us do that. So if you want to join, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and also here on YouTube down below on the membership options below, you can join there and you get the same perks either way. So if you'd like to join, we'd love to have you. Very welcoming. And so if you got any questions, you can always ask us in the comments or shoot us an email, jared@capturedmagicpodcast.com. If you got questions, feel free to ask, and I will answer those the best that I can there. So, all right, well, that's going to do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching, and thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
We will see you in the parks.
bye.